we thank you for protecting us, keeping us in your loving arms. Father, as we go into this study this morning, we pray, Father, that the lesson that we learn from these lessons will be lifelong lessons that we can use in our daily lives. These and all blessings we ask in thy Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
So it's close to that one, do this one. Okay, but that's good. That's all. Okay. And I'm just telling you, it's so close to that's a good thing to know. Now, look at that again. You talked about this before. Can you not see it? Where's the thing I use? Where's my next one?
Good morning. It's good to see those who are here this morning. We're glad to have our visitors and our returnees. Call it my kind of returning. Today we're on our last lesson in this quarter. Yeah, thank you all for joining us. Sure appreciate it. Yeah, we look like we belong together. We're distributing the mics. And at the end of this lesson, we will pass out to Paulie for the next week. $135, that's right, Margie? Is that right, Margie? 135. What's our subject, class? What about Jerusalem? The Jerusalem Conference. Where is it found? Acts 15, 6 through 21. Okay? Everybody ready to go for it?
Just wait till service.
Before we get started,
Yeah.
what was the Jerusalem Conference? In your own words? What was the Jerusalem Conference?
It was a conference that was held in Jerusalem between the apostles, the elders, and others who were, and Jews, Pharisees, who were trying to impose upon the Gentiles the requirements of the law of Moses. And basically, the leaders came together to discuss whether or not the law should or could be imposed upon Gentiles, because
What law are you talking about?
circumcision.
Okay, good.
They wanted to require Gentiles who had been baptized to be circumcised, which was an old tradition of the Jews. And if the Jews felt that if you were not circumcised, you could not be a Christian because you were unclean.
And most of these Jews were Pharisees.
That's right.
So they wanted people to be like them instead of whatever God had done. And who was representing the Gentiles?
Peter, Paul, Barnabas.
Peter, Barnabas, and Paul. Okay? What else question can I ask? Remember anything else in the lesson that was important, very important? I think they mentioned that this is about the first time in the book of Acts where they mentioned the apostles and the apostles and the elders, because the church had not fully been organized.
That's correct.
And we mentioned that there was a James in the lesson. And what James was this in back in the room?
The brother of Jesus.
The brother of Jesus. And what was he to the church in Jerusalem?
He was a leader.
He was a leader, probably like an elder, right?
Like an elder.
Okay, so he had a say-so like whatever the church in Jerusalem decision that they made. Okay? Let's start reading so we can get into the lesson if we have time to discuss more. We'll go into it. Page 135. Okay, Brother Clark.
Now the apostles and elders came together to consider this matter.
So it's all right, Brother Cross. It's working. Verse 7.
And when God had been much to Peter rolled up and said to them, Men and brothers, you know that a good while ago God chose among us that by my mouth the Gentiles should hear the word of the gospel and believe.
Hey, Sister McGee.
So God, who knows the heart, acknowledged them by giving them the Holy Spirit, just as he did us, and made no more. I'm sorry, I got the name.
And made no distinction.
That's how you read it. That's what Sister McGee.
She did. She read later. She read.
Oh, okay, she was gone from
I
it.
read 8.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let's come back.
9.
Verse 9.
And made no distinction between us and them.
And now therefore,
Purifying.
He purified their hearts by faith.
Okay. 10, Brother Frank.
and now therefore, why do you test God by putting on your yoke on the neck of his disciple?
Put a yoke.
Putting on a yoke on the neck of his disciple, with neither our father nor we were able to bear.
11 pounds.
But we believe that through the grace of the Lord in Jesus Christ, we shall be saved in the name of the matter,
In the same
in the same manner as they.
12 Marjorie.
Okay. And then all the multitude kept silent and listened to
Barnabas.
Barnabas and Paul, declared how many miracles and wonders God had worked through them among the Gentiles.
Okay, 13, Brother Clark.
And after they had become silent, James answered, saying, Men and brethren, listen to me.
14, Brother Cross. That's right.
Simon had declared how God had the great visit. I have it in a minute. This, to take out of there and people by his name.
15, Sister McGee.
And with this, the words of the prophets agree, just as it is written.
16 says so.
After this, I will return and will rebuild the tabernacle of David, which is fallen down. I will rebuild its ruins, and I will set it up.
17, Brother Frank.
So that the rest of the mankind may seek the Lord, even all the Gentiles who are called by my name. Say, the Lord who does all these things.
18, Pam.
Lord God, it's all his works.
Are all his works. 19, Martin.
Let me see, that, 19, therefore I heard that we should not trouble those among the Gentiles who are turning to God.
20, Brother Clark.
But that we write them to abstain from things polluted by idols, from sexual immorality, from things strangled, and from blood.
21, Brother Ross.
Moses had throughout the just those who preached them in every city. We read in the synagogue every Sabbath.
Okay. That completes our lesson text. When they had this conference, did they fall out and start boxing? How did they conduct it?
Well, initially there was a dispute.
Okay.
In other words, there was a conversation about an issue.
Okay, they brought the issue to Jerusalem. And why Jerusalem? Why did they bring it to Jerusalem?
Because the church was headquartered there.
The church was established in Jerusalem, right?
Yeah.
On the day of Pentecost. And that's like headquarters, like. And they had heard through different sources that the Gentiles in other places had been baptized, become Christian, but they were not keeping the law like the Jews felt like they should. So they sent Paul and Barnabas to Jerusalem and Peter to discuss this with the church there. And they took turns, right? They did it orderly. Let each other speak. They didn't fall out. And Paul and Peter had already what? Said that God had appointed him what? To speak to the Gentiles. When did this happen? When did God establish Peter to preach to the Gentiles? I mean, Peter too?
Yeah. Well, that happened with Peter. It happened when he went to speak to Cornelius.
Okay. But it happened before that.
Matthew.
When did he tell Peter he was going to give him the keys to the kingdom?
In Matthew.
Okay, what was happening when that happened? We're trying to make some connection.
Yeah.
Jesus was coming to Caesarea Philippi, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was asking the apostles, who did the people say he was? And some of them say he was what? Isaiah, Jeremiah, or one of the prophets. And God told Peter what?
Who do you say I am?
Who do you say I am? And Peter said what? Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And that's when he told Peter what? With that confession, he was going to build his church, and he was going to give Peter the keys to the kingdom. So now we're seeing it being played out. Like I say, when Peter spoke to Cornelius, that was the Gentiles. On the day of Pentecost, when the Holy Spirit came upon the apostles, Peter preached their sermon. And then you already know that Paul had been summoned when he was going to Damascus, and he told him he was choosing him to what? To speak to the Gentiles. So they had proof from God, but they were doing was backed up by God. And they wanted to let this all come out. Any comments anybody would like to make?
And one of the points that Paul and Barnabas made was that as proof that this was approved by God, they had been able to perform a lot of
Miracles.
signs and wonders and miracles when they went out to establish churches.
Okay, and they didn't do it by themselves, that
Right.
it was God's approval and God's will that they did all of this. So they let them know what? That God was behind the whole movement. Unlike some of us who take the credit. Okay?
And then James made it clear to them that from the beginning of time, God had always had this plan that he would set up a kingdom for all people, not just the Jews.
And he went back to the book of Amos, where the prophets had prophesied that this was going to happen. And then it was happening. Okay? Very good points. Anybody have anything else you want to add? Okay, no. Questions on page 143. Who came together to consider the question of circumcision as a requirement for Christianity? The apostles and the elders? Where? Where were they? In Jerusalem, okay. What apostles spoke first at the conference? Peter, okay. How did God acknowledge the Gentiles? By giving them the Holy Spirit, like what? Like he did the Jews on the day of Pentecost, right? All right.
It says, excuse me, that God can see their hearts and know their heart.
God didn't make any distinction between the Jews nor the Gentiles, but the same thing that he did for the Jews on the day of Pentecost, he did the same thing at Cornelius for the Gentiles. Okay? Thank you. What did Barnabas and Paul declare had been done through them, through the Gentiles? Many miracles and wonders. Okay? God had enabled them to work among the Gentiles. What prophecy did James cite in his speech? I said, what prophecy? Who made the prophecy? Amos. Where is it found?
Where is it found?
Mm-hmm. Get your Bibles out.
Yeah.
Amos 9, verse 11 and 12.
Yeah.
Can we turn to that? Amos is a minor prophet in the Old Testament. You need to get your Bible for this. Do you have the Bible back there? So you guys just begin? Amos 9, verse 11 and 12. What's that claim?
That's for a cross.
Your phone, Brother Cross, your phone is making up some noise. It's stopped now. It's stopped now. Are you having some spaghetti?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Amos 9 verses 11 and 12. Want to read it for us?
In that day I will raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and of all the heathen which are called by my name, saith the Lord that doth this.
So God was going to bring everybody together.
That's right.
And he predicted that in Amos 9, verse 11 and 12. Okay, any comments?
The other thing that James said is that this is true, but there's still some things that are required of you to do as a Christian. And he went on to name that you should conform your lives to not engage in sexual immorality and other things that had been commanded in the Old Testament but were still in effect in the New Testament.
But these all things was done right before the law.
Right,
So they weren't part of the,
right. They were not part of the law.
they were done before the law. God had
Right.
given that command, okay? Any more comments?
Those who obey the gospel cannot live however they like. God makes demands on his followers.
Okay, well, we can't predict how we want to live if we're going to live for God.
Right.
We have to follow his pattern and his commandments. Good.
And one of the things they specifically mentioned was serving idols, because that had been a problem throughout.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Idolatry. Any more comments? What did James say the Gentiles should be told to refrain from?
Idolatry, sexual immorality.
Things polluted by idols,
Right.
sexual immorality,
Right.
things strangled and blood.
Right.
Okay? And we said those things were not, they were, God had commanded that before the law. And they were still in force now, even in Christianity. Discussion. Why do you think the apostles and elders were mentioned together in this passage? Why did they mention the apostles and elders together in our lesson text?
Because there needed to be consistency throughout the leadership of the church.
That was the only reason?
No.
What do we say about the organization of the church at this time?
The church was being established in different locations, and the apostles had picked out men to serve as elders to do the daily administration.
So they were just really establishing the different offices and the structure of the church. It hadn't been completed. But this is the first time that we mentioned the elders and the apostles being together. Okay. Any more comments about that? How do we keep from confusing tradition and obligations? Traditions of what?
And things that we've done, well, I thought you were saying traditions of,
I'm asking, what are traditions?
things that have been done over a period of time
Okay, things that people have done over and over again, and they make it kind of what? Put it on anybody else, everybody, that you got to do what I do. And it don't necessarily have to be right. But we've been doing it all the time, now we do sometimes. What is obligation? A requirement. So in the situation we talk about now, the Gentiles have been baptized, and the Jews was kind of questioning that. Which one of them was an obligation? The baptism or the questioning of the Jews?
Well, they were trying to impose circumcision. They were trying to obligate them to become circumcised.
Okay. But they had to be what? To be a Christian, they had to be what? They had to be baptized.
Yeah.
That was obligation. But the circumcision was what? It's a tradition. Because they had been doing it, they were trying to make everybody who said they were Christians be baptized, be circumcised. So can we see the difference between traditions and obligations? Things that require obligation. Tradition is things that we do for a long time and then try to put it on everybody else to keep. Why do you think James stressed the avoidance of idolatry, sexual immorality, and eating things strangled? Why do you think James stressed avoiding all of these things?
Because those things have been handled before.
Okay, then what part of the law? Circumcision was. God had commanded that before he gave Moses the law. So it was still important today.
Excuse me. Also, people exercising those things in the past, they destroy structures.
You're going down softer and softer. And I could not hear what you said. I know it's good. So that's what I just did.
I said, because in the past, people that had exercised those things had been destroyed, destruction had come upon them.
Okay, and all this is what? Works of the devil anyway. And we can't do work for God and the work of the devil at the same time. We can't what? Obey God and devil, right? Okay? What does this passage teach us about God's plan for man's salvation? And Sister McGee gave that to us earlier. If we're going to be saved the way God wants to be saved, we have to do what? Obey what God tells us to do. And not what you want to impose on us, or what you think we should do. And I think we talked about that a couple of Sundays ago. And sometimes, even the things that we do sometimes, we need to go back and be sure that we are doing what the Bible says. Because we can do things over and over again and get away really from what it was to be. And if we don't go back and check ourselves, we could be making a tradition out of some things that we shouldn't do. Okay? Anybody have any comments? We're glad to have those who visit with us. And I had the new books for about a week, but it didn't dawn on me until last lecture. This was the last lesson. So I have the new books that we're going to issue out today that will begin next week. So if you don't have one, just a little bit too frank if you need it. We're going to be talking in the book of Hebrews.
Does everyone have
Put it up. If you come in and need to get one for somebody else, just let me know when we dismiss. Okay? What is your idea about the study of this book on Peter and Paul? Did you learn a lot about Peter that you didn't know? How Peter and Paul interacted with each other and the church? Somebody give me your philosophy on what you picked up and what you learned from studying this quarterly in your own words. It's not an obligation.
Well, these lessons cleared up some things about Peter. And one of the things that cleared up for me was the fact that even after Peter preached to Cornelius and his family and saw the Holy Ghost come upon them and they were baptized and became ready to the church, there was a point in time where Peter still, even though he knew that that was the will of God, some of his actions indicated that he was not fully convicted of that. In the instance where he was eating with the Gentiles and other Jews came around and then he separated himself from the Gentiles. And Paul, I think, was the one who actually called him
Paul
out.
called him out. Said you may like this is supposed to be the right thing, and then you stop eating with the Gentile because other Jews come around. That's not right. And Paul had to straighten Peter out.
And I think that ultimately led to the meeting at Jerusalem.
Okay? And see how we're talking about sometimes what we have to check ourselves. We have to check each other because we're human. We get off track. We have to be reboosted. Like the computers.
Yeah, it reminds me of, the need for lectureship. That's what, sometimes they have already, but, you know, they check each other. And, you know, we're doing this, and it's tradition, and that's what we see in the Bible says.
And you know, a lot of times we come from different organizations and churches that are not the Church of Christ. And we bring some of that baggage in the church. And if we don't watch out, sometimes we put it on the church, saying we ought to do it too. Those kind of things we talk about. Yeah. And like I said, and we say all the time, you know, we were talking about that people make you do stuff. Can't nobody make you do nothing. You have to be strong enough yourself to work and obey God. And so even if you have to do it